It seems like the further back you swing your arms, particularly your right arm in the backswing, the more power you're going to get. True or false? Maybe, but there are big sacrifices to your control and your ability to hit good shots. Hi, I'm Peter Knight, and I've created this channel, Peter Knight Golf, to help you play the best golf you can. And today we're going to have a look at how the right arm works in the backswing, specifically where it should be at the top of the backswing, what your reference points are, and a couple of drills to help you achieve that. So if I make a backswing here, as the club goes back to the top of the swing, it looks like my right arm is swung a long, long way back. So just a normal swing back to the top, it looks that way. Largely that's deception because I've turned my body so much. If we have a look at the movement of the right arm and a couple of checkpoints, when I set myself up, my right arm here, if we look at the upper arm, it's sort of across my body a little bit. Most players, when they swing the club back to the top of the swing, they go back and the right arm sort of finishes up being in line with my chest. So if I rotate further, you won't be able to see that from this view. From here you will. But so when I get back to here, I don't want my right arm right back here. So when I swing the club back, I start off with my arm in front of my body here. When I make a correct backswing, the arm will move a little bit across my body and lift, but that's about it. So from here, if I go back to the top of the swing, at the top of my backswing here, we can see my arm's in a very different position to when it's right back here. From here, you can see that difference. From this view here, you can see my right arm here. As soon as I do that, without necessarily trying to turn my shoulders anymore, now you've lost view of my right arm, my right elbow, particularly my right upper arm. Here you can see it. So when the club goes back, we don't want all that excessive movement because we've got to recover from it in the downswing. Because it's adding extra movement to the swing, it complicates it. And it really doesn't add extra power, but it will certainly detract from control of how I'm going to get the club back to the ball, control of my swing path, and it can affect the club as it goes back. I've seen players with the arm swing back. When they swing down, the arm pulls down beside them. Others, the arm lifts and then pushes out this way. So it doesn't necessarily change to make sort of an inside-out path or an outside-in path. It can disrupt it either way. Typically, if you tend to swing the club back and you have that movement and the club swings outside in, it will probably always do that. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of drills that we can do. First of all, when I set myself up, if I just lift the club up in front of my body, so now my hands have moved from being a little forward of the center line of my body to a little bit behind the center line of my body. But my right arm, if you look particularly at my upper arm here, it's hardly moved. And looking from this view, my elbow's flexed, but again, my right upper arm has hardly moved at all. Now from here, if I just rotate to the end of the backswing and take care not to allow the arm to move independently, but just to rotate my body, now I'm in a good position at the top of the swing, and you can see where my right arm is here. If I swing the club now, I'll sort of turn my back to the camera, but when I do that, you'll see the difference in the movement. So from here, we've got the swing where the arm pulls back, and you can see where my right arm is. Correct position is here. So from the behind view that I just showed, wasn't very attractive, was it? But from that view there, you can see where the right arm is and how different it is when it's in the correct position. So one way to practice that is to observe what you're doing. So if you're looking in a mirror from front on, you get back to the top of the swing and you lose sight of that right arm, you know that it's moved too far. If you're looking from behind here, and as you're going back, it's a little bit more difficult to see, but you can definitely still tell whether that right arm's moving too much. And if you have someone who's recording your swing or you're recording your own swing, the view where the camera's behind you, as I just showed, is really valuable just to see exactly what that arm's doing. It's actually quite a common movement, a common incorrect movement for the arm to go back too far. But that drill where you're lifting the club up and taking care not to let this arm move and go back to here is a really good one. Now, some players will ask me, what if I just put a towel or a wood cover under my arm? Will that help me going back? Answer, no, because you've got to hold it there, you're adding tension, and the arm doesn't move away from your side at all, which it has here quite correctly. So have a look at your swing from behind, if possible. Watch what you're doing, do the drill, and you'll find that the more you are able to have not minimal movement with the arm, but only optimal movement, I'll say, so a necessary movement, the better you'll find that your strike will be. Might make your swing feel a little bit shorter to begin with, but you're going to have a lot more control.